going on, Bona Fide friends? This is episode 18. That is right. It's official, like a ref with a whistle. The Bona Fide Bullshit Podcast has hit its 18th episode.
I love your little sayings.
You like? I got
Is 18 like an official number?
Yeah, 18.
It's like a grown-up.
Yeah,
like that's when you're officially an adult.
Officially grown. That means we're in this for the long haul. Not that we're saying that we weren't, but this basically keeps saying we got 18 and we're going to keep going and we're going to keep moving forward. As always, we appreciate you guys rocking out with us each week. We got another fun, full-packed show for you guys with some cool shit to talk about. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm like, I don't know,
That's my Manscape shape.
Oh my god, sorry. It looked interesting and it kind of vibrant. I was like, whoa.
You can't stand still. You got the attention span of the squirrel.
I just heard and I was like, oh, is this for me? And it was not for me.
No, it's not. It's mine. It's my 3.0 shaver. Like,
that was for me.
And the thing is that as you guys can probably see, I have the Manscaped shirt on.
Oh,
we're proud to announce that we have an awesome partnership with Manscaped, and you just couldn't wait. You got to start fiddling around the box and grabbing crap out of it.
It makes all these, it's very strong. I was impressed.
I'm like, what's this?
I was impressed with the vibrations.
Like, where's these vibrating sounds are coming from? But yeah, Bona Fide is partnering up with Manscaped, and speaking of that, support for Bona Fide Bullshit the podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Who is the best men's below the waist grooming? Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over the technology developments to provide you with the best tools for your grooming experience. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide.
Including yourself.
It's true. We have an exclusive offer for our listeners here. 20% off plus free shipping. You heard that right. 20% off plus free shipping. All you got to use
What's the promo?
The promo code.
We got the promo.
Bona. BONA at manscaped.com.
Get it?
I mean,
Bona?
Come on. That's 20% off and free shipping. And all you got to type in is the promo code BONA. Bona. I mean, and honestly, I'm really excited to have this partnership with Manscaped. I'm
super excited.
A user of the Manscaped, You
guys, there is an LED light on this thing.
Well, this is a 3.0.
Can we turn it on?
This is a 3.0 right here. So the 3.0 got some LED light.
Can you feel the strength through the video?
I have the 1.0 and I get the, the blades that are sent to me every couple months. And I'm truly excited to have the 3.0. I mean,
there's a fucking light on this bitch.
An LED light.
An LED light in case you get in a situation where you have to shave in the dark. Okay, we've all been there. This helps. Okay.
I mean,
you're welcome.
Let's be honest. If you were hesitant like I was many years ago when it came to personal men grooming, you probably had a 70s Afro style going on down there.
Gross.
And with this light right here, it guides you. I mean, these
it's
blades.
It's really saved our marriage. You know what I mean?
Look at this. It doesn't cut. I mean, it's gonna cut the hair out, obviously, but it's not gonna nick your skin.
Yeah,
you want to face the other way. Want to turn it this way? Get a little bit of your stash there. No, because this is not meant for the face.
Not.
This is just meant for your balls. You gotta treat your balls nice. And I mean, they offer an array of
you guys, your
packages.
balls will thank you.
Oh, they will. They'll thank you, definitely, as I'm leaning down here.
And your significant others as well.
When you guys go to manscaped.com, there's all types of different stuff they offer, but this is one of the key packages, which is here is the 2021 Lawnmower 3.0 package, and you're going to get your Manscaped shaver, which you're going to go ahead and shave. They got a little pair of boxers in there for you. They got these creams right here, or I should say lotion. It's a toner. You have your ball deodorant and ball toner. One is called the crop reliever. The other one's called the crop preserver.
I'm a big fan of the boxers, honestly.
The boxers are awesome. They're nice and silky and smooth. And I've also used both of these on my family jewels. Sometimes you just want to go ahead and
I'll attest to this. It's true.
Freshen up a little bit. I mean, the slogan is definitely true. Your balls will thank you. My balls definitely thank me, as well as the
especially in summer, guys. It's just around the corners, so.
Yeah, you get a little bit of swass and you get a little sweat. Sometimes there's just some men that when they go ahead and they're sweating and it's something they can't control. And if you just want a quick little freshen up, there down there, the crop preserver,
keeping it clean
for you, and the ball deodorant just makes things fresh and smooth. But yeah, like I said, we're really excited to let you guys know that we partnered up with Manscaped to bring you guys that awesome offer. Again, like I mentioned earlier, that's 20% off when you guys go to manscaped.com and you go ahead and purchase your Lawnmower 3.0.
With the promo Bona?
With the promo Bona. I cannot say that enough. That's going to be BONA. and A. So once again, folks, make sure you guys stop over at manscape.com. Get your 20% off and get your free shipping.
So, I mean, speaking of keeping it clean, I put something in our story the other day about throuples. This is kind of, I think it's new to everyone, including ourselves. Something we've heard of this year, and that's when you have, 3 in a relationship.
Which is the old school threesome, but a throuple is when you're actually just...
Yeah, it's continuous. It's just...
a couple, but a throuple, 3. You're going out there. Not just late at night, having those rendezvous, or you're feeling freaky while you're out on vacation.
No, this is like a legit, serious relationship where you are fucking committed to each other, all 3 of you, in every way, shape, or form.
Speaking for some men, that's just double the headache. Like, I'm straight with just 1.
I think speaking for men and women, it seems like there are a few responses. I'll just read a few of them.
Throuple is a new term. Like I said, there's finally been a lockdown term to call that. Like I said, because everything's typically was it's a threesome. That's what they're doing. They're having a threesome. But no, now that they're being in a committed relationship, it's 3. Whether it's one guy, 2 girls.
That's a lot. I mean, sorry, our dogs have not seen me like literally all day, so they're a little attached right now.
JC be happy to see him.
Yeah. But anyway, so a few people said, like you said, that's extra work on all ends. Women, men, however you're throuple in. Listen, I respect, people who do throuple or don't, or any way, shape, or form you do relationships in. But, man, that's work legit. Because not only is that like, whether it's dealing with 2 women, 2 men, 3 women, whatever, relationships in general are hard. And to have to deal with, different personalities, what if it's 2 women and all of a sudden your, time of the month is like syncing up. That means
Jesus Christ.
Double the bitchiness, double the tears, double all the shit that we go through around that time.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Or for women, if it's 2 men or another woman, like that's a lot. How do you make everyone happy? That's what I wonder. Like, how do you make each person happy? How does that work on a day-to-day basis?
That's a full-time job in itself. I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off.
100%.
It's like you say that and you're like thinking like, it's already when you're with your significant other, just like you and I are together, and you're consistently building
I could not imagine, like, you're enough as it is.
Double?
If there was another one of you, no way. There's no chance. I'd be going out of my mind.
And I don't know what goes through the individuals' minds that are cool with that. I know some have come out and say, "Wow,
I think they just have extra love."
Yeah, I want that
honestly.
extra, companionship, or I want to have a sister that I could, whatever.
No, that's some TLC shit that we just heard recently.
Yeah, like it's just
but no.
it's totally fucking odd, and I don't.
But I know that it's kind of come out in the forefront a little bit more recently because not only is it on my favorite show, 90 Day Fiancé on TLC, but I've also seen it on HGTV on House Hunters. It was a throuple looking for a house. So that's how like, it really is another new norm. So, like, it's like another person said, it's fascinating. And it totally is fucking fascinating. Like, so many questions. So many. Do you all sleep together? Do you sleep one at a time? Do you all, are there special nights? How do you go on date nights? How are your text messages? Like, what happens? There's so much questions.
There's just so much that goes on there, and like you said, you have more couples now that I think that are being comfortable with everything that's going on in the current state that we're in, where there's just certain way of the old school ways that people are not doing things. Whether you guys know where that leads into a bunch of different areas, but being to be able to come out and say, hey, this is our thing and it's something new, and you probably got some that, I'm sure that, there's probably a guy that might have put his significant other in an awkward position, because sometimes there's relationships where we've seen where you could tell the one side is really into the other side. I mean, let's say the wife is really into the husband, but the husband has a little bit of wandering eye. She doesn't really want to let him go because she knows she's got it really good with him.
Yeah.
So she thinks if I do this, then maybe we'll both be happy. And I don't know. I just think that.
Or what
really
if it's something like new?
Us.
Like, we've been married for like 7 years now, almost 8. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What if like next year I was like, I'm feeling like I'm kind of like bi now, and I want to introduce a woman and do like some kind of throuple action. Like, what's that transition like? You know what I mean? And like, does that, make you feel very weird towards me or more like, I know if it was the other way around, you're like, oh my gosh, like I feel like it'd be super exciting to, add a woman to the relationship, and do a throuple. First of all, no.
Yeah.
But second of all, even if I was like there would have to be times as a woman, you're like you're spending too much time with her. Pay attention to me. Like, how does that happen? Like, oh, you're gonna fuck her tonight? No, like fuck me, or you know what I mean? Like that has to be so tricky, so tricky.
Much work. It's just there's
I have so many
moving
questions.
parts, and I know. Like that one couple we saw,
So
they
interesting.
explain like, well, no, we have like a call, text message system, or we have split time and a schedule. And again, it's like all that work for what?
Like, what are you guys texting about? Or if you have separate like text messages.
Like, is there a group
Are you
text
talking
just all
about?
three?
Like, are you talking about me?
And is there a little side chat?
Like, oh, Angel's being such a bitch, but you're talking to the other throupler. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot to think about.
It's just too much going on, and there's just too many levels to it where. It's just really fucking crazy, and I guess you just.
But the fact that I keep seeing it, I've seen it on TikTok before too. TikTok, TLC, HGTV, like all these like random places. So it totally is a norm, but it's just such a newer norm that it's fucking fascinating. So if you're throupling it up, like I just am interested to know. Like I'm so not hating on the situation. It's definitely not for me.
Yeah, by far. Like there's no.
Definitely not for me.
Not for me.
And it's not for you either, because I could just answer for you. It's definitely not for you.
Maybe.
He's not interested in other women. You know what I mean? It's just me.
It's hard trying to entertain the one, and you're trying to entertain the other, and then this one's needy as fuck. This is gonna be the one that. What are you texting her? We're in the same fucking house.
I don't think I'm needy. I think I'm. Jealous and spoiled. I'm jealous and spoiled.
So I couldn't imagine the headache of just trying to do that by double. You know what I mean? Like it's. We always talk about this. Like marriage is a consistent working relationship. We've been preaching this since episode 1. When you're in a marriage, that's a consistent working relationship that takes 2 people to tango. It doesn't take 50-50. It's like 100 for everything. And then every day,
it's choosing that person every day. So then you're switching.
Yeah, you're gonna be working at it.
2 people a day and give 100%.
Again, to quote something earlier in one of our shows where people were asking us like, "Oh, you seem so perfect." And you said, "No, it's just every day is consistent work." Now you're gonna tell me I have to do that double?
There's just times where I just
come home and I'm checked out from like life.
They probably said I'm perfect. You probably made misunderstanding. It's fine. It's an honest
sure that's what it was.
misunderstanding, really.
But you come and it's like you're coming home and sometimes you're just like you're spent. Like I've had those days, that where I'm spent.
And then what if you don't want to talk to either people?
Yeah, either. And then them to go fooling around. And then I go scenario based. So you just said that where it's like, well, what if you're so tired and you're just like, I don't want to deal with neither of them. And then they start fooling around together and they realize like, man, fuck this guy. And then they get a thing going on, and then you're the motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying.
There's house with your knapsack, and they're telling you hit the road, Jack.
There's so many variables, like so many.
And I think that's
like
the
you could just easily change your mind. I'd be like, you know what? I'm kind of over dick. Like I'm just gonna girlfriend it up now. You know what I mean? And then what? Your relationship of 7-8 years, if not longer, whatever, changes. Which again, I think we've talked about this before. We're always evolving, and I think like they say every 7 years or so, like you kind of change as a person, your feelings, whether it's life, love, religion, stuff like that. Like it's bound to change. So like how, what, that's got to be really like hard and or hurtful sometimes. If maybe one person, in their head is like, yeah, I think I want this. Then you bring it to your significant other and they're like, what the fuck? And then you're on 2 different pages and you're like, my significant other really wants, to bring someone else into a relationship and you don't. So what's the conversation like then? Is it just over?
It's again, there's just the door for odd possibilities is just wide open for that scenario. I mean, show me a throuple when they're in their 60s and 70s and they're still getting along, then I'd say, okay, I guess people are going to have a shot.
Then maybe it's a party.
I think it's
at
a new
point.
Age, new thing that's just going on.
It totally is, 100%.
I think it's like a fad. It's a fad that's currently going on. You got those that are hopping online,
but maybe
using the TikTok and the views and the likes to have people jock them and be out there.
But I'm sure it did somewhat exist, like back in the day. It just wasn't said because
the back in the day was just your basic regular old threesome.
But so many things were like, hush hush, like, whether if you were gay or you were, this or that, like you had to like keep it to yourself. So like maybe it did exist, it just like no one knew.
No, and you have couples that, that do, well, what is it, like, not the wife swap, but I guess it is the wife swap, but it's just kind of like
the key thing that you used to talk
yeah,
about.
the swing shit, the swinger couples that are like, that's been
you
an
guys,
old
that's
thing.
the thing. Have you heard of that? It's like a key party. So you go to this party and everyone's like, hey, and then there's like a fucking
when you
bowl.
get there, you drop your
throw
keys
your
in the
key
bowl,
in the bowl, and then you're like partying, having drinks.
And
at the end of the night, you like go to this bowl and you're like, whose key is this? Ding ding. Oh, it's you. Let's go.
That's who you're going home with.
What?
Like, there's a whole society of like freaky shit like that. That's the reason why, you know, that's the reason why like T.I. and Tiny had this controversy jump off this week. There's like 11 victims. I don't know if you heard that. Not to sidestep real quick.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's 11.
I have not heard anything about T.I.
They're saying there's 11 victims that came forward. They're trying to sue them, and they're saying that they were forced and drugged into sexual acts. I've always heard crazy shit about T.I. I met him once.
With both of them, or just like one?
Yeah, there was this. There's one of the persons. Is
allegedly.
Allegedly. No, this is going to court. But anyways.
Stop.
Yeah, one of the individuals.
That's serious.
One of the individuals stated that, like, I guess it happened whether it was in a studio, on a tour bus, because it's within different scenarios. This individual said that she was invited on the tour bus, and Tiny was drugging her drinks. So then, you know, she'd be drugged up, and her and T.I. would do whatever, and boom, boom, pow.
Is this true, you think? Do you think a bunch of people banded together to go against them? Because they're such a couple known to be
it could be one of those things like where R.
cheating
Kelly,
on each other or
it could
having
be one of those things like the
others.
whole R. Kelly situation where all these girls get together and there's just stronger in force of a whole.
You guys, I legit have not heard of this story. Like my
Yeah,
head has
it just
been
broke.
on my ass this week because there's a lot of shit going on.
No,
I
it's
have
crazy.
Never heard
It
of
just
this.
broke, and the reason why I say like again that I don't think that it's far fetched for him because I met him once, cool dude, but then I heard stories. You know, being involved in the music industry, I heard stories from inner workings where like. He'd have these hotel parties and have all these girls.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. I think,
but being married, like knowingly being married.
But that's why I think it's kind of maybe not surprising. Maybe you know it could be.
And
a possibility
him and Tiny went through a
girls...
lot of stuff, so you don't know when they were fighting and they were going like I think a couple times they were going to get divorced. You don't know what the
But that's what I'm trying to say.
On.
Like maybe because of all those things, like. So some women were like, you know what? It's not so far-fetched story because it wasn't like, oh, T.I. Tiny have always been so loyal to each other. Like there's always been something going on with them.
There's been some drama.
So maybe it was like some girls come up and they're like, oh, well, it's just more believable. Like if we say this, I'm not saying that they're lying, because I really don't know. Again, I've never heard the story yet, but you know, it's just a possibility, is all I'm saying, because they are celebrities. And you know, people will just say shit.
And they want to hang out.
You know?
Like I mean, like I've shared stories with you. I've been on the road where I've seen some of the crazy shit. I've seen dudes bring their girls, whether it was wife, girlfriend, and be like, "Hey, I want you guys to sleep with my girl." And it's like, what? Like people that are just super fanatics are crazy. And then you got your backstage groupies that want to get backstage and party with the rock stars. And these girls probably went in with intentions to party, but I guess the whole drugging part. Now they're obviously T.I. and Tiny are denying it. They're saying they're going to go to court. They're denying it. These girls apparently have evidence.
Like,
so if there's 11, you know what I mean? Like it's just something when that number comes that strong in power. Look what happened to R. Kelly. They came out in full force, and then everybody felt like they had a voice to speak. But what I was getting at, like you got a couple there that's obviously a celebrity couple. This is some freaky shit. So like,
really
there's just all this backdoor freaky shit that goes on. Whether it's the key parties, the swinger parties, the fucking drugging people up and doing things and having your girl, you know, be like, hey, I need you to go get 3 girls and get them in here. I need you to drug them up so I can, you know, have sex with them. Shit, like the THROUPLE stuff. Like we're just in a very interesting landscape, and I think some stuff's always been happening for a long time, but now it's out there more.
You don't know what happens behind doors. Like the whole celebrity relationship thing is just another fascinating thing. Like shit works differently. I'm sure so differently when you're in, you know, a relationship, whether it's one celebrity or two, and there's a lot of money and other things involved. Like it's got to be so different. Even like, you know, look at Kim and Kanye, like per our last episode. Like there's so much that's like unseen. Like you just see what's, you know, in the tabloids or online, the social media, and like what's true, what's not, what's behind doors, what do they really talk about at night, what's their, you know, relationship really like.
You know, it's touching a little bit again, and it's not saying anybody's name or exposing anybody, but there was an individual that I knew that, going back to the R. Kelly thing, they knew R. Kelly because obviously I was real involved in the Chicago music scene here, and this individual was telling me, he said, I used to do music with him, and he would make you sign an NDA when you got to his house. An NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. It means when you walk in, and everybody, you walk in his house, no filming, no photos, and anything that happened there, you legally were binded by a contract that said, hey, I don't know what happened.
So I'm sure that happens with, I mean, all celebrities, right? I mean,
some
all the big ones,
yeah, but then
probably.
he shared some stuff that, again,
you can't just
out
share
of respect
photos.
for this individual, he shared some stuff to me that when I heard stuff about R. Kelly, I wasn't shocked, to say the least. Like, I wasn't like, I mean, and it wasn't about the whole young girl shit, but it was just the way he would commandeer his home and parties. And this guy's telling me this stuff, and I'm just like, damn, that dude was fucking
What about our one friend that used to live over here by us who worked at a certain medical place that did like celebrities' hairs and would talk about like kind of like how they would act
make her sign an NDA too.
Yeah, and their behavior, and it was like, wow, yeah, like I'm sure there's some amazing celebrities that are very like grateful and respectful of how far they've come and you know how lucky they are, but then there's some who maybe just really it's gotten to them and they act the fuck out and are just maybe not that nice to people or places and things like that we've heard anyway.
Some hit like the celebrity status where, you know, you're going to have your people that are annoyed. You're going to have your, you know, meaning your celebrity that's annoyed, like, oh my God, they keep bothering. And you have your ones that are real appreciative. And then you have your ones that just feel like, I know you think I'm the shit. Like, fuck you. Like, I know Gene Simmons from Kiss. There's another story that's there. The end of that story is basically there's a show. He's there. He's X amount of feet away from us. This girl's like, oh my God, you're Kiss. He literally was like, he grabbed her mouth and told her to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, the way he handled himself, but then he's got all these other girls because he knows that he can say that to them and they want to fucking rock with him, you know? Like I said, you just see people
fuck it, I'm going to deal with it because they're a fucking millionaire or billionaire or whoever the hell they are.
Yeah, they think like, they go ahead and they get so excited so they feel like this sense of like, you know, they're walking around and they're like, yeah, I'm the shit. And I could, like I said, literally like a very beautiful looking girl to literally, she was excited to see him and she's going to grab his mouth.
Did you say someone was beautiful?
Yeah. It wasn't you backstage.
Let's just erase this part because it's going to go
But yeah, I mean, to grab her mouth and be like, hey, look at it. Like, can you imagine that? You excited?
No, I couldn't.
Let's say you see Bad Bunny and you're like, he knows, I know all the girls want to fight. He just you. But yeah,
no, I'm sweating already just with his name.
Jesus Christ. See how fast that switch sound?
Okay, you're right.
So
you're right. Okay.
But he grabs your face and goes, hey, cállate la fucking boca. And he grabs your mouth and you're like, oh.
I would have been like, okay.
Yeah, and he goes, no. And then he does a clap, and then people's like, take you away.
Oh, I'd be heartbroken. I'd be so heartbroken.
You just get that level. And I get some, like I said, I get some
crazy ass celebrity
to a certain
shit.
extent, but...
You know, I heard some other weird celebrity thing recently. I didn't tell you. This is just totally random. But I was on some kind of social media. But anyways, they were talking about Britney Spears. And she lived in whatever mansion she lived at some point. And when she was going through all her, like, her crazy stage where all that kind of shit was happening with her, divorce, blah, blah, blah. So... anyways, at some point, I guess she was living in her mansion and she had someone come, like a spiritual healer kind of type of person, I guess, to help her get through the shit she was going through at the time. So they came in, the spiritual healer left, and I guess she said that when they left, she felt kind of weird, like kind of off, like something was wrong. And she had told someone, I think they said this was coming from, who was that, Kevin Federline or whatever. When she went legit psycho that I feel like we all could understand now as adults. But anyways, so the spiritual healer left and she said, I'm not feeling right, something's weird in the house. She had told, I think, like her makeup artist or hairstylist or something like that. She's like, something is in the house, like I feel like the spiritual healer came and like opened some kind of portal, she said. And there was some kind of spirit or something that kept trying to push her down the stairs. Well, anyways, long story short, she pieced the fuck out of that mansion. She went to a hotel and never went back to the house and sold it as is with everything included, like everything. Guess who bought it? Allegedly. This is, again, social media, so allegedly. But anyways, guess who bought it?
Sprinkling the allegedly.
This is the Meryl.
Shout out to my homeboys.
Anyways, so guess who bought it? Brittany Murphy.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
Right? I watched this and I was like, and so apparently Brittany Murphy died in that mansion from whatever unknown causes. I think it ended up being drug related or something like that. I'm not sure.
There was a bunch of
and then 5 months later, her fiance, whoever the dude was, I'm not honestly sure, had passed as well.
Yeah, because
in that fucking house. Listen, I'm a big believer of like spirits and the paranormal. That's why I don't fuck with it. Don't fuck with it, okay? Because that shit is scary. I feel like it's a real thing. So when I heard that, I was like,
that shit's real. So you know where I stand with that. Being
right?
Puerto Rican and knowing there's a whole separate religion on my beautiful island of Puerto Rico where they do brujeria, and there's brujeria blanco and brujeria negro.
That literally gives me the
There's two sides. There's the white side, the black side is what I said in Spanish there, and I know some
us
stuff
Filipinos don't have that.
Yeah, and there is another being out there. There's a way things could happen. There's a way things could get fucked around with, for lack of a better word. You know, like, yeah, that shit's real, and you can feel stuff.
Totally.
And you could, like, I had that. We were talking recently. We were watching, of course, doing our whole National Geographic at night. And we were watching that whole thing in the Mayans.
You're ultra obsessed.
And they were talking about the cenotes.
Oh yeah.
And what did I tell you? Like, I was sitting there, like, again, my hair stands up.
We went to the cenotes.
Yeah, not your typical, like, the ones that everybody go. Like, we went to some off-run.
Beautiful, like the most beautiful, like places ever. Great. But then we watched this Nat Geo thing and we're like, holy fuck.
Yeah, but I was telling her, like, I remember, like, going through there,
tell them what they said about it.
Yeah, they were saying, like, so, like, this is what we think about this, because when I was there, when we were there, as we're in the cenotes, we're in this beautiful water, we're chilling, but I kept feeling something. Like, I just felt like there was just something in the walls of those, like, because you're underground in this, what a cenote is, underground, there's water.
Like in a cave. Dark, the water's
dark, and they had these little lights set up, and they give you a flashlight and fins.
The water's natural and cold, you know.
And as I'm in there, I'm just like, I remember from my grandmother, and that's a whole other story there, but like just feeling something. I'm like, I feel something here. I feel someone's with us. I feel something around us.
Honestly, I think
I didn't really like elaborate.
I was too caught up because like I was the one kind of with our little one. I was making sure like he's like floating the right way,
you're not losing
drowning.
Your cell phone.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I lost my cell phone. But anyways,
so
you were like more in tune as to like what was like
spiritually
going on
and taking it in. So then we go ahead, fast forward, not even 2 years later, we're watching the special National Geographic, and they're talking about how the cenotes was a real big thing for Mayans. Like whether they were doing stuff in there where
Nat Geo really fucked us up,
sacrificing, whether they were having rituals in there.
The shit they say on
pathways. They're saying there's some that are under where you see the big temples, that there's cenotes that lead to them. Like they use that as the main passageway.
All over Mexico, and there's like hundreds or thousands of cenotes.
Yeah, they don't really know how they, there's different, ways that they got there with asteroids and this and the water and whatever. But yeah, I mean,
regardless, the fact that they're there and that there's so many of them is weird.
Sure. You can feel it. You can always feel another being. You can feel something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're somewhere and it's at least something that it's a trait that I have that I can feel something where I'm just like, wait a second.
That's why when I heard that whole Britney Spears situation, I was like, no. Oh my God. No. And then Brittany Murphy and all that other stuff, like, that just like stuck in my head and I was like, what the fuck?
I don't know who's having that because I know there's been some controversy with whoever has the documentary, whoever one of those, now that everybody's got a streaming network, has that documentary about her, and I guess now people are seeing her side of it, and that's when they call it. Justin Timberlake came out to apologize, and all this stuff's popping up. So it might
maybe it's Paramount Plus because I'm going to be signing up for that.
Paramount,
soon.
That's another one. Everything as you put a fucking plus in a streaming service. Angelica's signing up for
I'm a sucker for trash TV, honestly. So
I mean, it's just something that where it's like you're looking at all these subscriptions and you're like, I could just have cable and have all that. The only thing is they're just offering you this VOD video on demand.
It's an app. Cost. It's an app.
Well, the thing is, something like Paramount Plus, like I said, you can see these stuff regular on your local cable provider.
But they have extra shows, like only like original.
But they're also offering you into their vault where you could just start to watch all their movies. Where that's just, I mean, you go to my mom's house, I got a whole set of Paramount VHSs and DVDs. It's basically your DVD physical vault that you would have at home. Now you could just.
You would need a DVD player and a VHS player to play everything that's stashed at your mom's.
Say less.
Nope. Definitely not. What's that? So this week we also watched. Oh God, I'm getting really far from the mic. We also watched another show that, not to toot my own horn, but toot. I found.
Jesus Christ.
It's called.
Motherfuckers found.
But you loved it.
That's all it is. You pat my back. Come here. Da, da, da.
But you loved it too. You fucking loved it too.
I ended up digging it.
I think it's called Lupin.
You don't think it is? It is called Lupin.
But look how I say it. Lupin.
On Netflix.
My face gets a little bit different.
How would you say Netflix in French?
Oui, oui.
No, you don't. Jesus Christ. You would say La Netflix.
Le Netflix.
Yeah,
like
Lupin. That's another, it was
So
a really good
good.
show to hop into and watch.
You guys should check that shit out.
If you guys want a quick
seriously.
recommendation, make sure you guys watch that. They got season 2's coming. What is it, 6, 7 episodes of season 1?
I don't know,
The
but that shit
storylines
was
were
good.
awesome. It's the Gentleman Thief.
It was like a French Ocean's 11, and I fucking did that kind of
But it's
shit,
got English dubbed over, but it takes place in France.
So good. The
And-
storyline is cool.
Yeah, the characters.
The acting is really good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just, sometimes you watch stuff and you're like, oh, that's kind of, shitty acting, but I'm gonna watch it anyways because, like, I need something to watch right now. This was legit.
No,
And I'm legit excited for,
it was
like, the
legit as
second
fuck.
season,
I'm
for
looking
sure.
so I'm looking for the second season. You did. It was a good show. Sometimes
Thanks.
you always go pick the good stuff. I'm the one always picking something. You're always picking.
See, I don't
smutty
only
stuff.
watch 90 Day Fiancé. It's just a
Like, I'm not
majority of the
only
time.
watching reality
It's just like
TV.
99% of the time.
Well,
You're
folks,
welcome.
As always, we appreciate you guys rocking out with us each and every week here on all your favorite podcast platforms,
And
as
I
well
also
as on YouTube.
just want to mention one more thing, guys.
You always do this to me.
I know. I just don't want to keep going. I just want to talk about the national holiday that is today. That it's
Oh!
kind of okay. It's kind of new, and maybe you don't know about it, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's awkward now.
You fucked up my
It's
shit.
awkward
Like,
now.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't fuck it at the. I was gonna add a whole setup here.
You were literally just saying goodbye to everyone.
Yeah,
so-
but I was gonna close it out, and then I was gonna say what about this national holiday.
Okay, I'll let you continue. Go ahead. I'm
Well,
listening.
I was gonna say, let me take it back. Where I was saying, we appreciate you guys tuning in with us each and every week, rocking out with us on all your favorite podcast platforms, as well as watching us on YouTube. Make sure you guys hit like, subscribe, and click the
Dong.
And I wanted to send a
No.
very, very, very special happy birthday. Because as this episode drops today, Wednesday, it is Angelica's birthday.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. Who, me? I'm so shocked at this little shout out that you did for me.
Yes. The day's birthday
Thanks.
is, as you're listening to this right now, this Wednesday. it
You
is
know
her
how much I
birthday.
love birthdays.
So make sure you guys leave some comments below there wishing her a very happy fucking birthday. And if you guys really want to give her a gift, go ahead and get your Lawnmower 3.0, gentlemen. And make sure you guys use that promo code
Bona!
BONA, BONA, for your 20% off and your free shipping.
You won't regret it. Your
You won't.
significant other. Your balls will thank you.
Peace out, guys. Much love.
Peace out, bitches!